Video numero 2 for Sonic Month. Let's not waste any time and just dive right into talking about this piece of crap. This, for the uninformed, is called a Sega Game Gear. It was an 8-bit handheld console by Sega which was attempting to compete with Nintendo's Game Boy. Needless to say, it pretty much failed, and it really deserved to. The two buttons on the controller were too far apart, and the console itself is really huge. I mean, I have pretty deep pockets, and even I would have trouble hauling this beast around. Its games were in color, and the screen was backlit, which was amazing for the time, especially when compared to the impossible-to-see black and green screen of the Game Boy. But because of this, the Game Gear actually required 6 AA batteries to work. 6! And those would only last you like 3 to 5 hours without dying. And that's just what Wikipedia says. I'm pretty sure it's less than that. I just don't really pay attention to the time. On top of all this, the console didn't have the same great library of games that the Game Boy did, so ultimately it fell into obscurity. But not before housing 9 Sonic games. Yep, the Sega Saturn got 3, one of which was a compilation game. The Dreamcast only got 3 games, but the Game Gear? It got 9. 12 if you count spin-offs. And we're talking about one today. Remember last episode when it seemed like they had to slow the games down so that they would work in 8-bit? Well, that seems to be the entire idea of this game. Sonic Labyrinth. In this game, Dr. Eggman forces Sonic to wear the slowdown boots, which make him unable to run or jump. So kids, do you want Sonic Labyrinth for Christmas? It's the Sonic game where you can't run or jump.
Alright gentlemen, I have the perfect idea for the next big hit Sonic game. You travel around annoying mazes and you can neither jump nor run.
But, sir, what kid would possibly want to play a Sonic game like that?
Anyone else? Didn't think so. Now hurry up and get this piece of crap done already so we can start working on that Big the Cat fishing simulator.
The game is a semi-overhead puzzle game, I guess? You have to use the spin dash ability to get around quickly, so the majority of the game is just charging up, dashing off, and then bouncing all around uncontrollably. The only way to control where Sonic is going completely is to just not spin dash, meaning that you're walking this slow. Yeah. Oh, but don't worry, you see these triangles? They're actually a power-up. Not sure why they couldn't just make the power-ups look like they do in all of the other Sonic games, but you know, whatever. Triangles. It flashes through 4 different colors. Touch them when they're blue and you get the classic speed shoes, which cause you to walk slightly faster. Yeah, I try and get the hourglass power-up instead. It gives you extra time to complete the level, which is a lot more useful. Oh, right, you have a time limit in this game. Collect the 3 keys and then find the exit before the time runs out, or else you're met with death. Like I mentioned before, Sonic is hard to control. He'll often bounce off of stuff and ultimately just not go where you wanted him to. Trying to hit enemies can be very difficult and specific, and make sure not to fly off the edge of a stage because there aren't always safety railings. Stupid game. And oh yay, I'm stuck in cement! Why doesn't every Sonic game have patches of cement? That should be the new spin dash. They should add that into every game. After 3 stages, you fight a boss. They range from being boring to... yeah, the bosses are boring. To beat the first boss, all I did was zoom back and forth over and over again until he was dead. The best boss in the entire game was probably the Spike guy, but even then, he was pretty easy to beat once I learned his very simple pattern. And you know, for a puzzle game, this game is not very puzzly. You pretty much just have to wander through a level and collect the keys that you see on the ground. It's just trying to get used to the clunky controls and getting around the levels without bouncing all over the place that's hard. To be honest, this game is just boring. It's really, really boring. Dash around, stop yourself, try to kill an enemy, miss, try to kill an enemy, miss, wait for teleporters, get stuck in cement, get hit, drop keys. I really feel like I have nothing to say about this. I'm just bored. The game is just boring as hell. Even with being hard to control, if you just take your time, it isn't really that hard. Until some of the later levels, which just turn into goddamn mazes so you can't take your time. But I can't really complain about that, because it's in the name. Labyrinth. As the levels go on, they become more and more like labyrinths, which I guess was the point, but since when were those fun? Sometimes I'd go through a door and then I'd immediately turn around and go back through it, and I would end up somewhere different. Where exactly is the puzzle in that? It's just aggravating. Maybe I wouldn't mind it so much and I would just memorize where I'm supposed to go and the layout of the level and everything, since that seems to be what they expect me to do, but it's so time-consuming and frustrating just to move around. But you know what? You think that with getting lost, that would be the main reason why I don't like this game. But no, I tend to be able to fumble my way through the levels, even the really confusing ones, and progress just fine. Until the last couple of levels, but other than those ones, yeah, it's a relatively easy game. The game's bad because it's boring as hell. And oh my, the game over screen is pretty violent. I mean, lava and spikes? Eggman's really going all out this time, isn't he? Just the other week he was saving me from falling into lava, and now he's throwing me into it. With spikes. Oh, this stupid level thinks it's so clever, hiding a platform down here. The only way that I found this platform was by getting lucky and waiting here for a minute, and then it just showed up. But there's a time limit. Why would somebody normally think to just wait here when there's a clock ticking down? There's no indication that a platform's gonna show up. This isn't a puzzle at all. Look here, I just got hit, and when you get hit, your keys fly out of you. And one of my keys flew out of me right into a bouncer, and now I can't get it. I just get bounced away whenever I go near it. That's just sloppy programming. Also, I've learned something about this game. The thing that's gonna get you killed most of all in this game is just being impatient and zooming off of ledges. Because I'm bored! The last zone is where it gets really frustrating though. Everything looks the same, the door thing still keeps happening, and this level is huge. I keep running out of time before I can find all 3 keys. Hell, I'm having trouble finding keys that I've already found before on previous tries. I've been in this level for a really long time. This one level has eaten through almost all of my lives. It's just, ugh. I ran the clock out twice before I even found 2 of the 3 keys. It's really hard to show in this video, but just take my word for it. It is really hard to navigate this level. There, holy crap, I found the 3rd key, finally. Now I just have to get to the end of— No, this isn't fair, get the key! I can't kill this guy, my key's gonna disappear, and it's against the water current, so I have to spin dash to get to it. No, great! Yep, can't get them now, can't go back, and there's 50 seconds left. I'm done, I'm dead. Yep, time's up, try it again. Oh wait, I don't remember where to go. Great! This game is just a huge combination of frustrating as balls and really damn easy and boring. I gotta give this game kudos, that is rare. And that was heartbreaking. I mean, it really was. Finally, I managed to get past this part. And I'm at the final boss. And it's just about as easy as all the other ones. A big fat Eggman. And it faked me out. I thought that I had killed it, but it actually had a second form, and it rushed over to me and killed me. This is the first boss in the entire game to have a second form. It didn't even really take a second to let me realize it before it just rushed me and... Okay, yeah. And I win, finally! This review wasn't even that long, and neither was the game. It's pretty short, but it feels like it's been an eternity. And that is not a good sign. This game is clunky, it's boring, it's hard to control, it's boring, and it's slow. The music isn't even that good, and some of the other Sonic games for Game Gear had pretty fine music, so what's the excuse here? Everything in this game just feels wrong. It feels like it just really shouldn't be a Sonic game. Even as a handheld spin-off, it's just so slow and boring that it just doesn't feel like a Sonic game. It's just not fun. I beat the game, but it's not perfect. Oh, so this is the bad ending. I have no idea how to get the good ending, and I sincerely do not care.